Iranian missiles hit sites across Israel, killing at least 4 people and injuring dozens in retaliation for ongoing Israeli attacks on Iran. Iran says Israel has killed at least 78 people, including women and children, and wounded more than 320 others, as the Israeli military continues to launch strikes on cities, military sites, and nuclear facilities. The Iranian Foreign Ministry says it would be meaningless to join nuclear negotiations with the United States in Oman while Iran is under attack by Israel. It is obvious that in such circumstances and until the Zionist regime's aggression against the Iranian nation stops, it would be meaningless to participate in dialogue with a party that is the biggest supporter and accomplice of the aggressor, spokesperson Esmail Baqi said in a statement. Iran's Foreign Minister Syed Abbas Araghchi added there is no justification for continuing indirect negotiations while Israel's barbaric behavior continues. The nuclear negotiations were set to take place in Oman on Sunday. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says he hopes the escalation between Israel and Iran won't result in a drop in military aid to Kyiv. We would like to see aid to Ukraine not decrease because of this, Zelensky said in remarks published on Saturday. Last time this was a factor that slowed down aid to Ukraine. The attack on Iran has led to a rise in oil prices, which Zelensky said would benefit Russia. The attacks led to a sharp rise in oil prices. This is bad for us, he said. The Ukrainian leader also warned Europe's support is stalling without Washington's engagement, as Europe has not yet decided for itself what it will do with Ukraine if America is not there. The China-led 10-state regional group says it strongly condemns Israel's military strikes on Iran and expressed serious concern over the escalation of the situation in the Middle East. The Shanghai Cooperation Organization, a Eurasian security and political group, said in a statement that Israel's act targeted civilian and nuclear facilities, causing civilian casualties. This seriously violated the principles of international law and the UN Charter, undermined Iran's sovereignty, undermined regional and international security, and had a serious impact on global peace and stability, it said. The closure of the strategic Strait of Hormuz is being seriously reviewed by Iran, according to local media reports quoting statements by Esmail Kozari, a member of the Parliament's Security Commission. The Strait of Hormuz, which lies between Oman and Iran, is the world's most important gateway for oil shipping. Even the suggestion of such a move has already sent shockwaves through global markets, and the price of oil has risen. Israel has refrained from hitting in any severe fashion the oil infrastructure of Iran. Should that change, that will obviously have a much more dramatic impact. Tawfiq Rahim, an independent geopolitical strategist. Pakistan expressed its full support for Iran and called for Muslim unity against Israel in the aftermath of the ongoing attacks. We stand with Iran and will support them at every international forum to protect their interests, Pakistan's Defense Minister Khawaja Asif said during his address at the National Assembly. Israel has targeted Iran, Yemen, and Palestine. If Muslim nations don't unite now, each one of them will face the same fate. He urged all Muslim nations to immediately cut ties with Israel and called for the Organization of Islamic Cooperation to convene an urgent session to formulate a joint strategy. Asif said Pakistan has deep ties with Iran and Islamabad stands by Tehran in this difficult time. Meanwhile, Pakistan's Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar called the Israeli attack on Iran a brazen violation of Iran's sovereignty. Pakistan and Iran share a 750 kilometers (466 miles) border in Pakistan's southwest and Iran's southeast. Iran's army says its air defense systems hit another Israeli F-35 fighter jet. Citing the Army's Public Relations Department, IRNA news agency said the incident occurred in the country's west. The pilot reportedly ejected from the jet but his current whereabouts remain unknown. Israeli army spokesman Avikai Adri denied fake publications by Iranian media outlets that the Iranian military succeeded in shooting down Israeli fighter jets. Egypt's Foreign Minister Badr Abdelatterny denounced Israel's strikes on Iran as a serious escalation that could push the region to a state of instability and chaos. Abdelatterny's comments came in phone calls with his Italian and Spanish counterparts, the Egyptian Foreign Ministry said in a statement. Israel's military said its fighter jets are resuming striking targets in Tehran. The way to Iran has been paved, the military's chief of staff was quoted as saying in a statement. The army is proceeding according to its operational plans. The move is a result of the heightened conflict between Israel and Iran, according to a domestic order by the Interior Minister. Special vigilance must be given to all sites that could be targeted by terrorist or malicious acts by a foreign power, Interior Minister Bruno Retailleau said in a message to French regional security chiefs. Security should be boosted near places of worship, schools, state and institutional buildings, sites with high traffic, including festive, cultural or religious gatherings. The order applied also to Israeli and U.S. interests as well as to establishments in the Jewish community. France is home to the biggest Jewish community in Europe. Iranian political analyst Hamd Mousavi says the nuclear talks between Iran and the United States are akin to a double-edged sword as Israel continues its attacks. On one hand, Iran does not want to shut down any diplomatic avenue with the Americans as, for this war to stop, the only path is a very diplomatic solution in which the Americans would probably play a very big role, he told Al Jazeera. At the same time, Iran does not want to continue the negotiations leading up to a nuclear deal that were ongoing for the past 2 months. Mousavi said it would be meaningless to carry on with the negotiations while Iran remains under attack. The Trump administration keeps saying that we set a 60-day deadline, which passed and then the Israelis were able to attack. The original nuclear deal took 2 years to negotiate, so if the Americans are really trying to negotiate in good faith, they have to give this time. Trying to bomb Iran into submission will have a reverse effect. Israel has launched an unprovoked assault on Iran, including strikes on nuclear facilities and assassinations of several senior military commanders and scientists. In front of the world's media, however, the Netanyahu government is spinning the attack as preemptive. Foreign Secretary David Lammy says his country is alarmed by events that took place overnight in the Israel-Iran conflict. Alarmed by further strikes in the Middle East overnight with reports of fatalities and injuries in Israel, he said. We must urgently de-escalate and prevent any further harm to civilians, Lammy said, adding he spoke to his Iranian counterpart Abbas Araghchi to urge calm. The airstrikes will have to continue. At the end of the day, Israel doesn't really have the ordnance to destroy some of the deeper installations. These are dozens if not hundreds of meters under the ground reinforced concrete, underneath mountains. But what Israel can do is keep up the tempo of operations to make sure nothing is being enriched. The facility itself might survive, but there won't be much work going on. This is designed to keep the Iranians off balance, the hunting down of any mobile missile sites, storage facilities, and trying to destroy or degrade Iran's ability to fight back and attack Israel. On the Iranian side, they need to protect the command and control, because any time any leaders pop up in any meaningful way, they've been targeted for assassination. We've seen Iranian cruise missiles get through and ballistic missiles get through Israel's missile shield. Hypersonic missiles are effective in penetrating Israel's defenses, but the Iranians only have a few. Israel's offensive capabilities will slowly degrade over time as wear and tear starts to add up, as with any offensive.